Did you know that the story of Adam and Eve in the Bible actually has a fan-made prequel story? According to some Jewish mystics in medieval times, the relationship story of Adam didn't start with Eve. It started with someone called Lilith. Now, Lilith was supposedly Adam's first female counterpart. In contrast to Eve, however, she wasn't pulled from Adam's rib. No, she was a completely separately created person. Now, she wished to be treated as such. Adam, however, had different ideas and wanted her to be submissive to his will. Adam complained to God, and because Lilith didn't wish to subjugate herself to her husband, she was banished out of the Garden of Eden, becoming a symbol of defiance, hatred, and evil. Now, the story of Lilith is ancient, and the story of what she's based on is even more ancient. It's far older than the Bible, and it goes back to Sumerian and Assyrian myth. But we're not going to talk about that in this video. If you're interested in that, then there's countless other videos on YouTube to check out. No, today we are going to talk about today's image of Lilith and what it means for men and women. Now, before we continue, I invite you to go on Google and type in Lilith and then click on Google Images and see what you get. Now, what kind of images did you see and what kind of feelings did it evoke? Personally, what I see if I type that in is images of a powerful supernatural female entity, kind of a demon or a goddess. I also see a lot of openly displayed sexuality, as if the entity is not afraid to show that. But there's also a tint of evil in there. Now, the figure of Lilith is also associated to another supernatural being that you may have heard of. It's called the Succubus. It is the female counterpart of the Incubus. It is supposed to be a demonic entity that preys on the life force, the life energy of men by seducing them and using her sexual attraction. Now, if you were to type in Succubus on Google Images, then I trust you'll find pretty similar pictures to that of Lilith. So clearly, this image of this sexually provocative, domineering, kind of evil female entity has permeated our pop culture today and probably has ancient roots. Why is it so powerful and what does it mean for us today? Of course, there will be a million answers to that question, and today I'll give a few of mine. I think that this symbol has its roots in how both men and women think about the female archetype. I think there are two main aspects that are most important about this Lilith figure. There is, I think, a positive and a negative one. And I think those positive and negative aspects mean a different thing for men and women. Firstly, for women, I believe that the confidence that this Lilith figure exudes is kind of this shamelessness and this unafraidness to show herself. I think this is a big part of why Lilith is often a symbol that is associated with today's feminism, with women wishing to be more in control and mostly just having equal rights as men. The negative, and in my idea, kind of problematic thing about this is that by making Lilith a figure of feminism, you also incorporate this evil part of Lilith. Because again, Lilith, or the Succubus, is supposed to be a demon. And so I think it's problematic to associate feminism with this evil or demonic part. This might, however, have a historical origin, because of course in most times and places throughout history, men have been in control and women have been submissive to men. So perhaps this connection between female assertiveness and evil has somehow found its way even in feminist iconography. Now, men. I am a man, so I checked this morning. Now, what does Lilith mean for men? Well, I think the image of Lilith or the succubus means just as much for men as it does for women, but for completely different reasons. You see, I think that the positive side of Lilith, this in control, sexually open, powerful female entity, is kind of a male fantasy. Why? Because I think that this image is that of a person, a woman that is very much free, open and wild in her own sexuality and her own femininity. And I think that is something that men like. However, I also think it is something that men fear. Enter the negative side. Lilith, or the succubus, is often associated with this evil. And that might be, and this is my idea, because men are afraid and intimidated by women who are very much open with their femininity. Because I think somewhere deep down we recognize that, hey, we have no control over this person, over this relationship. We are not on top. Now, to indulge myself in even more potentially problematic and offensive content, don't you somewhere think that this fear of control over a woman, this male fear, is the reason that we have given birth to the kind of opposite female archetype, the pure woman? Case in point, Holy Mother Mary, who is often completely covered up. She's a virgin and she's pure. The complete opposite of the dominant, sexually provocative Lilith. Perhaps men throughout the ages have felt safe with this kind of pure, this Holy Mary, maybe to a lesser degree this Eve figure, but have deep down desired this free-spirited, in-control Lilith figure. Now, do I think that all of this is 100% true and 100% objective? Yes. Now, that's gonna be it for today. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that bell notification to get notified whenever I